That's right. Welcome in, welcome back, folks, to a genuine question of why do recruiting services never like Notre Dame signees edition of the Always Irish Show? It just bugs me. I got questions and I had no answers, so I'm bringing them to you. As always, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. I appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps me as well. Notifications on. That way you're alerted every time a new episode drops. You don't want to miss it. Twitter, search bar, Always Irish Rat. Always Irish Inc. Emails, alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only anywhere you want me. You can locate me. That call-in line, 312-988-15. You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Fighting Irish Wire every day. You wake up, type it in your computer box, your BlackBerry, your, what did they call them? Your Palm Pilot, whatever you're using. Type Fighting Irish Wire into it. Notre Dame information comes out. It's amazing how that works. Also, don't you dare forget, Sunday, July 9th, Sam Hartman's first public Notre Dame NIL autograph signing. Forever Young Sports Cards, Crown Point, Indiana's the location. The sponsor, the event, you guessed it, it's yours truly. We're going to have a great day. Talk Notre Dame, meet Sam, get an autograph, place some bags in the parking lot. Talk Notre Dame football with your boy. Visit foreveryoungsportscards.com for further details and ticketing informations. All right. This is going to be about recruiting, specifically about the industry of recruiting and how wild it is in the modern era. It has changed so much in the last 10 years. And there's a lot that I just don't understand about it. Social media is a reason for this. Twitter, listen, you guys, I'm old enough. Some of you are going to relate to this. I'm old enough that I remember re-clicking refresh on one Notre Dame website at 11 at night to see if Eddie Vanderdoes picked Notre Dame or not. It didn't used to be like this. It didn't used to be so public. So it used to almost be like the top high-profile defensive guy, defensive lineman, and a quarterback and a wide receiver you knew of. The rest of the guys, you just kind of saw who was on the team the first game. It's changed a lot. And the technology is a lot of it. Twitter and how instant that is and marketing all of this. But it honestly sometimes feels to me like the heat generated from the recruiting drama sometimes is bigger than the drama that comes after actual games. Sometimes I realize how important recruiting is. You got to have it or you're not winning anything. I get it. But sometimes the weight of it, I just can't relate to. Even just a rumor some nobody on Twitter starts that has no reason or no evidence to back anything up. Any idiot could get on Twitter and say, oh, I heard this and this and this from my cousin Joe Bob down in Tennessee or whatever. And before you know it, it's a huge headline out of an unverified rumor tweet about a recruit getting a bag of money or something. No evidence, no nothing. It's a bit out of control. It's a bit out of control, in my opinion. Now, listen, I get it, though. I'm in the content creation business. I certainly understand clicks equal money. I ain't a genius. You all know that. But even I understand that concept doing what I'm doing. A few clicks is a few dollars. A lot of clicks is a lot of dollars. That's how this business I'm in works. Clickbait equals more clicks equals more money. I get it. I do it. I live it. I live that life daily. I've had people say to me before, I don't know, John, that thumbnail image you had on your video and the way you phrased the title, it wasn't fully what your old video was about. What are you trying to pull there? What are you trying to pull, a fast one? Kind of, but not really. I'm trying to give it a title and a thumbnail to pull you in to click it to hear my full thoughts on it. That's the way this business goes. But my stuff isn't random. It's not quantified. It's my thoughts. And the recruiting stuff, some of it, I just don't understand where they get it. How they come up with this stuff. Like, how can Carr go to a camp, throw it around? Most outlets have him as a top 5-ish finisher in that camp for the quarterbacks. And then another one has him almost dead last and writes an article saying, this guy we might have to drop in the rankings if he doesn't play great senior year. How do you get that outlying opinion? Is it just one guy at one outlet's opinion from that one recruiting site? He sees something nobody else does at this camp, and that's all it does to tank the guy in the star ratings and that whole equation? Make that make sense to me. I saw this with Brennan Vernon last year. The guy went from a top 10 overall player in the class, regardless of position, to dropping like a rock in the star rankings after committing to Notre Dame with no actual additional game footage for them to base it off of. How and why did that happen? How and why did that happen? They're like in Vernon's case, there was no, he went through his senior season or something and wasn't very good or put on weight and was getting knocked around and looked back. If you're going to show me another year of actual games and he doesn't look good and he's out of shape or whatever, drop the guy in the rankings. But in the offseason, what's it based on? There isn't games. How could guys move 100 spots with no games to judge? I don't get that. I'll never understand how that's mathematically possible. And if it is by some measure, then it tells me your process is flawed. If there's no games being played and you feel like you got to drop a guy 100 spots in your rankings, you're not doing something right with your own process. Either in the beginning how you rated them or later when you dropped them. You ain't doing something right somewhere. So, listen, I'm just genuinely asking why this seems to be such a problem for Notre Dame guys specifically. I just don't get it. That one Carr article after that passing camp was depressing. The guy's saying he might be looking at a big drop if he doesn't clean this up and clean that up. And then other people are going, Notre Dame's getting a gem. This is the guy Notre Dame's been waiting for. I just don't get it, man. There's no games. So it seems to be a thing with Notre Dame guys specifically, more than I see with a lot of other teams. I don't understand why. Am I more sensitive to it when it's just our guys and I'm being over dramatic? Oh, yeah, you know me. Over dramatic's kind of my thing here. That's the reason this show took off. It wasn't because I'm Captain Calm over here. So, is it anti-Notre Dame bias in some way? I would think logically it'd be the opposite. These sites know Notre Dame has a huge worldwide following. If anything, I think it'd be in their best business interest to pump up Notre Dame guys to get more clicks. When your rivals are on 3 or whatever, and you write an article said, Notre Dame's getting a gem in CJ Carr. He's exactly what they wanted. People want to be happy. People want to click on happy stuff. I would think if there's any Notre Dame bias, logically, it should be on the high end, not the low end, to get more of us to click on it, want to read their stuff, want to watch their video, get a subscription, whatever. But I'm not seeing that. And here's one connection I've made. Carr, Vernon, both come to mind. I'm starting to think if you don't create drama as a high-end recruit, you're going to drop. I'm sorry. These guys like Carr and Vernon that shut it down and they're all Notre Dame and they're not doing this drama, posting pictures, flirting with other teams, going on other visits, flirting with recruits of other teams, taking trips and flirting with the fan base and having them all worked up. I'm starting to think if you're not involved in that drama, nothing generates more recruiting clicks than a guy committed to one school but taking a visit somewhere else or interacting with the fan base, wearing their hat. Those things are hot. That's always going to get a lot of clicks. I'm starting to think maybe Notre Dame guys get dinged if they just say, I'm going to Notre Dame and that's it. Because there's no more drama. There's no more meat on the bone for those recruiting people then. It's boring if you just say, I'm a 5-star, I'm going to Notre Dame, and that's it. I start thinking you're out of sight, out of mind of these companies then, because they're not generating that revenue off all your drama of every social media post. I'm committed here, but I'm wearing another team's hat, and I'm over there. Is that it? Drama drives traffic, and if you just commit and shut it down, there's no drama, and then they drop you. I just, practically and philosophically speaking, I don't understand these huge swings in the ratings with no games to be played. No games being played. No actual football games are on tape more than when they were ranked high. And then they drop like a rock. I don't get it. Is it all just the camps? Is that it? It's all just the camps. And you got to be in there, and that's what moves the needle for certain stuff. Like with Vernon, he wasn't doing a lot of that. Is that it? And if you don't play their games and do all that for them to promote it and everything, then you drop? Perhaps. Maybe not. I don't know. It's just so odd to me how these things go. And the other side of it is this. These Notre Dame guys drop like a rock. Why don't I ever see Notre Dame guys shoot up 100 damn spots in any rankings? Oh, yeah. Keon Keeley shot up a lot after Notre Dame was in on him, and then that ended up burning us. So maybe Notre Dame's damned if you do, damned if they don't. They commit to you high, shut it down, they drop in the rankings. We were one of the first teams in on Keeley, showing him all that love he committed to us. And then he did rise, and then because of it, the big boys came after him. We didn't get him. So where does that leave Notre Dame and all these recruits? You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So I don't have the answers. You know, I'd like to come in here and go, I know the roadmap. Here's what's going on. Here's how Notre Dame fixes it. You guys, I don't have the damn answers to any of this. Help a brother out. Tell me if you get it more than I get it. What am I missing? Am I so old that I'm stuck in the ways of that old Blue and Gold magazine getting thrown on the porch in the early 90s? And it's extra thick around recruiting time and you see who we got? Am I just out of touch? Why does this seem to be such a thing with Notre Dame guys? You know, it's just, oh, Carr's exactly what Notre Dame fans have been begging for. And then the next article is, if this guy doesn't step it up senior year, he's dropping like a rock. Nowhere near 5-star. What? I don't get it, man. I just don't get it. And it drives me nuts. it just drives me insane. So somebody tell me what I'm missing with this equation. Do you guys understand this at a deeper level than I do? Some of you recruit Nicks, not Nick Saban. That's different. I recruit Nicks. Like, tell me what I'm missing, please, because I just don't understand these huge swings with nothing going on. No actual games. The camps in that limited environment and controlled situation, I don't look at that as the same as what you do in real games. Now, I understand maybe the argument that those camps balance out competition. If you wanted to argue that, I could get that argument. Like, what happens? How do you judge a guy playing in a really crappy public league where he's just bigger, stronger, faster than everybody, putting up 1,000,000 yards and 1,000,000 sacks, whatever? How do you compare that versus a guy in like where I'm from, the high level Catholic League schools at the highest level where the competition's really good? I get that you could argue some of those camps level those differences out. It can't be 100 spots difference. Like, so I don't know, you guys. I don't want to belabor the point, but I'm at a loss with a lot of this stuff and how it could swing so wildly for Notre Dame guys. Tell me what is causing this. What am I missing? Or does it not make sense to you? But if it does and I just don't get it, tell me what it is because it's bugging me. See you on the flip side.